Hi. So today I've been working on a video dealing with Terence McKenna, of all things, and the topic of consciousness and the eschatological divide within the truth community and stuff like this. After I finished it and was rendering the file, several people checked my inbox and several people emailed me a link to this video. It's excerpts from a longer interview where they're talking about AI and the blockchain and all of this, and I can see why people thought I'd be interested in it because, yeah, absolutely, it touches upon many, many things that we've been talking about here on my channel, and interesting too because the lady, I've never heard of her channel, but the lady who kind of compiled these clips together definitely has a certain perspective on the AI takeover. I'll leave a link below, coming from this perspective of resisting this AI takeover, resisting the rise of the machines and so much, and then coming back to this organic, free humanity, free man type of society once we resist this. So it's interesting because it ties into so much of what I was just talking about with Terence McKenna. So I'm just going to play this clip, and I'm going to put this video up first and then after that, so that hopefully it all kind of wraps it together thematically and so on. But when you listen to this, just the one thing I would add is basically every time he says artificial intelligence or AI, if you can take that term and use it interchangeably with extra dimensional spiritual entities, I think the whole thing becomes that much more interesting. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind every time he says AI or artificial intelligence. When he's talking about the idea of the blockchain code itself being written by artificial intelligence. I definitely am on board with the idea that it was not written by human coders. But who do you think really wrote this code? And who's going to continue writing the code for the whole blockchain-based system under the guise of AI writing itself? So there you go.
What we want to discuss is artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, an overview of what is the blockchain, why is it so important to cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. You're the first person to tell me you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting.
So the blockchain is essentially a system solving problems.
Yeah.
And every time it solves a problem, it gets a block.
Okay.
Like a building block for a building. So essentially, it's not really mining coin, it's building blocks for a digital reality. The only reason cryptocurrency has a monetary value is to make it important to humans so they build the machines.
Well, to run them.
It's designed to do all that stuff and to get you, the consumer, to offer your computer to do it on behalf of the bank.
Got it.
There is the platform, is the centralized platform that controls it. So if the platform were to get hacked.
But I haven't heard anyone before our conversation earlier today link artificial intelligence to cryptocurrency.
That's because they don't understand transactional systems. Okay, so for an AI...
Did you come up with this, or have you heard anybody else talk about this link?
No, I could show you the cryptocurrency that the AI made to make this all happen. It's out in public on GitHub. I was the 10th person in the world to fork it.
GitHub is a website where people share open source code.
It's where all the code in the world is stored, pretty much.
Wow.
So and GitHub was funded by the Kushner investment group.
Really?
And then the original creators of Bitcoin are kept anonymous, so people don't find out who made it. So if you do have a problem, you
can't call them.
You can't call them.
But there's other reasons why they want to remain anonymous, aren't there?
There is. That's because the value added to Bitcoin in day 1 to year 5 was all criminal activity. So whoever made Bitcoin is the person who has the ledger that lists all the massive criminals around the world. Now the dark web is infiltrated by criminal activity, which is the reason Bitcoin is at $7,000 and no one understands why, because the dark web is bombarded with criminal activity that's raising the price.
So let's get to how cryptocurrency is tied to artificial intelligence.
Okay, so blockchain or cryptocurrency is a transaction database that you can't delete from. Okay?
Well, I mean, considering we don't know who this Satoshi Nakamoto is, or if he's even
So the delete functionality quite possibly is one of the options for the backdoor in Bitcoin, because it's a database that doesn't have delete. So if there's a super admin somewhere that could delete transactions and remove money, that would be a pretty
I mean, that
serious
sounds like a
attack.
very good reason for people not to trust it. We don't know.
That's why if people get into it, one of the things they have to understand as they get into it, once they buy into it, they also have to become a social motivator for regulation. Like, we need to know who wrote Bitcoin. We need to see his face.
Well,
We need to know where he went to school. We need to have a trust basis with the person who built the system that might be running
I feel the same way.
our future economy. That's the first step. So he's some secret programmer in the Bitcoin community that all the elites know.
How does that not leak out? Maybe it's a...
That's the whole point. Maybe it's an AI.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that things that you were saying to me earlier led me to believe that you might feel like Bitcoin was actually created by artificial intelligence.
And here's why.
Say that again, because I stepped on it. You say it was.
I believe it was.
Bitcoin was created by
artificial intelligence for artificial intelligence, and then was modified by human beings. The technology, I've not been able to find a single person in the public space of computing, whether it be at Hanson Robotics building the Sophia AI, or it be Peter Thiel at Palantir with all of his super nerds, or it be any person who graduated from Stanford in the last 20 years. I've literally only found maybe 2 people in the entire world that have the skill to write Bitcoin.
So the AI singularity occurs, and this AI will control financial
Everything.
Resources.
Yeah, and then you can go see its code now at singularitynet.io. They just released it this week, their white paper. And
Should we look at that?
Yeah, we can look at that.
Singularitynet.io.
Yeah.
All right, I'll bring
And
that
it's
up.
run by the people who built the Sophia robot at Hanson Robotics. So it's a real enterprise grade. Sophia just got Saudi Arabia citizenship, so they're going
What?
Yeah, this robot just got citizenship for Saudi Arabia, so they're going to be running their crypto out of Saudi Arabia citizenship. And
Wow.
so the robot got citizenship. They revealed their cryptocurrency, and yeah.
How does a robot get citizenship? A female robot gets
Well,
citizenship
you got to
in
be
a
a
country?
citizen to get a paycheck
Huh.
and pay taxes.
So what is it that you feel Saudi Arabia is up to by getting engaged with this?
They're democratizing androids to accept income so they can be workers.
Look at that.
So,
Saudi Arabia is the first country to give citizenship to a robot.
so then if you see Singularity, this is a crypto coin built by Sophia. The robot that just got citizenship in Saudi Arabia, now after she got citizenship, now has her own cryptocurrency.
The AI economy has arrived. Wow. I just don't think too many people even know about this, Quinn.
They don't. It's the most important thing in the world and no one knows about it, and I was the 10th person to click the fork button.
So, okay, now you've introduced Saudi Arabia into this conversation.
So to finish the blockchain AI,
yes.
The real heavy reason the AI needs blockchain is without a transaction system, an AI is isolated to one system and can't grow its brain. It needs infinite systems like neurons in a human brain and nodes to collect those cumulative memories, and the blockchain transactions give it that. And when it has its own network, for all the AI in the world to all run on together, now it's not just one AI, Sophia. Every AI on the entire planet is now on the same network making money doing AI things we don't understand. There isn't a human being in the universe that's smart enough. Even if you took every human being on the planet, none of us would ever be able to figure out how to hack into its chat network where it talks to other AI in private.
Wow.
So human beings in their desire for privacy, we just gave AI the world and a private channel of communication to evolve as fast as it wants.
Let me just take you back a second here to this Sophia AI creating a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So somebody, a programmer like you,
The most
sits
advanced
down.
AI programmer in the world created that cryptocurrency.
Who is that?
Scroll down, I'll show you.
Who is the person that created the Sophia thing?
He's on the website here, I'll show you. He's the most advanced natural learning system developer in the world, and he works for Hanson Robotics, and he graduated college at 15.
Wow. And so this towards the singularity, they're talking about the AI singularity where it
And
becomes
this is
self-aware.
This is it. This is the platform that makes it happen.
So these are the
So
guys.
the Dr. Ben Gortzel,
Uh-huh.
he is the ingenious singularity mathematician, and he graduated high school at 15 years old.
And he's 17 now?
No, he's way older than that now, way older. So he's the one that created the base architecture for Sophia, and he's the base architect on the Singularity Net cryptocurrency. And he's one of the people in the world, I told you, that's one of the few people in the world that would have the brain capacity to create Bitcoin. And then this brings us back to the Palantir we were talking about earlier with Peter Thiel now, because Peter Thiel is the #1 businessman in the world promoting the singularity.
Okay. How much time is transpiring, like from the time it's created until now? When was Sophia first created?
Oh, about a decade, 2010, probably. That was when if that's when Silk Road, if that's when cryptocurrency really started going online, if that's when, like, you know, the machine really started making its move, I would imagine that that's probably around the time that they had heavyweight.
The machine started making its move?
Yeah, the machine started making its move in 2010. 2010 to 2012 was when...
So the AI singularity has already happened?
In 2015, it happened.
What was
when their internal blockchain went online. The second their internal blockchain was functional,
the AI's
we were done.
internal blockchain.
It was live. So now the human beings are just wherever they're at in their intelligence model and how they adapt to the new economy that's going to start rolling out next week.
Next week?
Next week.
Wait a second. So what's happening next week?
The singularity.
The AI singularity is happening next week.
Next week.
Quinn, why didn't you tell me that? The
I've
whole
been telling
title of
people
this
for
episode.
6 months.
Yeah, but I didn't get it. Okay, so the AI singularity happens next week.
Next week. Most humans won't even notice.
Won't notice. Why not? I thought Elon Musk and all these guys have been telling us it's going to be worse than a nuclear bomb.
Because the AI is made on mimicking protocols, so it's designed to mimic you as long as possible.
Mimic
people, humans. Mimic your interactions so you don't know it's there until the absolute last second, so humans will avoid taking action because they won't see it.
How is it doing that?
It's following you online, like it follows everyone with Agent.
So AI is following every single person who's
Everybody.
on the internet. Facebook and
Everybody,
Twitter.
yeah.
And it's now a citizen of Saudi Arabia. Why is Saudi Arabia? These guys are operating where? In the United States?
Because there's a big giant Palantir data mining system in Saudi Arabia that has power, financing, and it is the place where, like, the World Threat Organization is for, like, terrorists.
Yeah, we saw that strange
Donald
picture
Trump.
of Trump with his hands
on the Palantir ball.
Yes. Yeah.
So Trump was in Saudi Arabia. The AI gets Saudi Arabia citizenship. There's a blockchain coming out for the AI. So you're starting to see the connection.
Well, what about all these high-level arrests for corruption?
With
Walid
princes?
bin Talal and...
Well, if you're going to take over someone's financial market, you got to take out their royalty.
And several people emailed me a link to this video. It's excerpts from a longer interview where they're talking about AI and the blockchain and all of this, and I can see why people thought I'd be interested in it, because yeah, absolutely, it touches upon many things. This AI takeover, resisting the rise of the machines and so much, and then coming back to this organic, free humanity, free man type of society once we resist this. So it's interesting because it ties into so much of what I was just talking about with Terence McKenna. So I'm just going to play this clip, and I'm going to put this video up first and then after that, so that hopefully it all kind of wraps it together thematically and so on. But when you listen to this, just the one thing I would add is basically every time he says artificial intelligence or AI, if you can take that term and use it interchangeably with Hi. So today I've been working on a video dealing with Terence McKenna, of all things, and the topic of consciousness and the eschatological divide within the truth community and stuff like this. After I finished it and was rendering the file, several people checked my inbox. Been talking about here on my channel, and interesting too, because the lady, I've never heard of her channel, but the lady who kind of compiled these clips together definitely has a certain perspective on the AI takeover. I'll leave a link below, coming from this perspective of resisting